Prologue, The Weight of Salt. Before the storms of history of Dark Age 1, there was a boy who loved the shore. Cedric, eldest son of the Mist-Keep's chieftain, knelt in Utulon's brine-soaked chapel, his knees raw against stone carved with drowned screams. The Elder Council anointed him with oil distilled from Leviathan bones, its stench clinging like regret. "You are the blade our god demands," hissed the high priestess, her face obscured by kelp veils. "Sacrifice the trident bearer. Sacrifice Arthur." That night, Cedric found his brother sneaking honey cakes to Nerthus, the hound's tail thumping like a war drum. Arthur grinned, crumbs in his hair. "Try one," said. "They're still warm." The dagger in Cedric's belt grew heavier. He fled to the cliffs, where Utulon's voice slithered through the waves, weakling. "You spare him, another drowns." Dawn broke with their mother's shriek. Cedric watched, numb, as Topiulcers dragged her into the lake, her fingers clawing at the surface until the water stilled. The Elder Council cast him out, branding him craven heir. But Utulon was not done. "Redeem yourself," the god gurgled. "Become my storm." Chapter 1, Bones of the Covenant. Years later, Cedric knelt again, not in prayer, but in subjugation. The Elder Council's dungeon reeked of rotting fish and betrayal. They offered him a pact, fuse with the drowned legion, Topiulcers who whispered of power in exchange for flesh. "Serve as Utulon's knight," the high priestess crooned, pressing a corroded helm into his hands. "Or join your mother in the silt." The ritual was a drowning. They chained him to an anchor, chanting as lake water flooded his lungs. When he awoke, his veins pulsed with black brine, and his mind echoed with the voices of the damned. The helm, now fused to his skull, showed him visions: Arthur stealing the trident, a temple to the false god Lyran, a future where Cedric's failure drowned the world. He rose, armored in cursed iron and the carapaces of deep-sea creatures. The Elder Council recoiled. "You are no longer ours," they spat. Cedric laughed, saltwater dripping from his teeth. "No. I am his." Chapter 2, Tides of Vengeance. The Black Knight's first act was to hunt the trident bearer. Cedric stalked Arthur to the docks of Metropolis, where his brother bartered with smugglers. Nerthus growled, sensing the corruption beneath the helm. "Arthur," Cedric rasped, his voice a chorus of drowned souls, "you carry a thief's relic." Their clash shattered barrels and ropes, Cedric's sword weeping black ichor. But when Arthur raised the trident, its light seared Cedric's borrowed flesh. He retreated, Utulon's roar in his skull, failure. That night, the god punished him. The Topiulcers writhed beneath Cedric's armor, chewing his mortal remains, stitching him into something more. Chapter 3, The Night of Two Depths. By history of Dark Age 1, Cedric existed between realms. His body, a shell of rot and armor. His soul, trapped in Utulon's current. When he cornered Arthur at the Stilt House, Nerthus lunged, not at Cedric, but at the Topiulcers puppeting him. For a heartbeat, Cedric surfaced. "Kill me," he begged, blood frothing on his lips. Arthur refused. The dagger of Dew struck, not flesh, but the pact. Cedric dissolved, not into peace, but into the abyss. Utulon waited there, vast and ravenous. "You are mine," it hissed, even in defeat. Chapter 4, Abyssal Baptism. Cedric plummeted into the abyss, the weight of his cursed armor dragging him deeper into Utulon's realm. Shadows coiled around him like serpents, whispering of eternity. He should have drowned, but Utulon did not grant him such mercy. Instead, the god remade him, flesh unraveling, bones reforged into coral and barnacle-crusted steel. His eyes blackened, voids where mortal sight once dwelled. "You are not yet unmade," Utulon gurgled. "You will be my harbinger." But Cedric was no willing servant. The drowned souls within him clawed at his essence, each seeking dominion. They waged war in his mind, driving him to the edge of madness. Only one voice steadied him, his mother's final scream, echoing through the water. He swore vengeance, not for Utulon, but for himself. If the god sought dominion, Cedric would take the throne of the deep by force. Chapter 5, The Dagger and the Depths. Above the waves, Arthur mourned his brother's fate. Yet the trident he wielded was no mere relic, it was a covenant with the sea's true power. Lyran, the goddess of undying tides, whispered to him, offering salvation. "Your brother still lingers," she promised. "But he is not whole." Desperate, Arthur sought the oracles of the Crescent Shoal, reclusive seers who spoke with the spirits of the drowned. They revealed a terrible truth: Cedric was neither dead nor alive, but bound to Utulon's hunger. Only the Dagger of Dew, an artifact of Lyran, could sever the tether between Cedric and his god. But such a blade could only be forged where light met abyss, within the Maw of Knockle, a trench where leviathans fed on the folly of men. With Nerthus at his side, Arthur sailed toward the Maw, knowing Cedric would come for him first. Chapter 6, The Black Knight Rises. Cedric emerged from the abyss, no longer the man he had been. The sea recoiled from him, tides turning black where he walked. The Topielsers, now his thralls, moved with purpose, raising sunken ships and drowning coastal villages in Utulon's name. He marched upon the temples of Lyran, shattering her idols, his every strike a declaration of defiance. "There will be no other god but the abyss," he thundered, his voice a discordant choir of lost souls. Yet as his power grew, so did his torment. Arthur's defiance gnawed at his mind, and the whispers of drowned ancestors reminded him of what he had lost. Was he still Cedric? Or was he merely a vessel for Utulon's will? Chapter 7, The Maw of Knockle. Arthur's ship reached the Maw, where the water churned like a living thing. The oracle's prophecy proved true, only within this void could the Dagger of Dew be born. But the process required sacrifice. The molten core of a fallen star lay at the Maw's bottom, guarded by the Leviathan of Sorrows, a beast older than gods. With nothing but his resolve, Arthur dove into the depths. The Leviathan struck with fangs the size of masts, but Arthur was faster, guiding the trident's light to pierce the beast's heart. As the creature writhed in its death throes, its ichor coalesced into a silver dagger, the weapon that could end Cedric's suffering. But Arthur had no time to celebrate. Cedric had come. Chapter 8, Brother Against Brother. The ocean itself seemed to recoil as the Black Knight descended upon Arthur. Their battle shook the waves, each strike carving through water and stone. Cedric wielded the power of the abyss, tendrils of darkness lashing out like whips, while Arthur's trident burned with the last light of the sea. "I tried to save you," Arthur cried, blocking a strike that cracked the seabed beneath him. Cedric's laughter was a hollow thing. "Save me? You abandoned me. You took the trident and left me to drown. I never wanted the trident. I wanted my brother." For a fleeting moment, the abyss in Cedric's eyes faltered. But Utulon would not allow weakness. The gods will surged through him, and Cedric struck Arthur down, the trident slipping from his grasp. Chapter 9, Severance. Arthur lay broken, the dagger just out of reach. Nerthus lunged, clamping onto Cedric's cursed armor, slowing him just enough. With the last of his strength, Arthur grasped the Dagger of Dew and drove it into Cedric's chest. The effect was immediate. The armor cracked, spilling forth the black brine of Utulon's curse. Cedric howled as the souls within him shrieked, torn from his body. His helm shattered, revealing the man beneath, no longer the Black Knight, but the boy who once loved the shore. Tears mingled with salt water as he fell to his knees. Arthur caught him before he could sink. Chapter 10, The Drowned Oath. Utulon's scream raged through the tides as its hold on Cedric was severed. Without its champion, the god's influence began to wane. The Topielsers, leaderless, dissolved into the depths from whence they came. The sea, once tainted by darkness, turned clear once more. But Cedric knew peace would not last. Utulon was patient. It would return. "We have to finish this," he rasped, barely holding on to life. "We have to end Utulon." Arthur nodded. Together, they set sail for the god's true resting place, the Abyssal Throne, where divinity and mortality intertwined. Epilogue, The Black Sun's Eclipse. Legends speak of the brothers who defied the abyss. Some say they perished within the Abyssal Throne, their sacrifice sealing Utulon away forever. Others claim they still walk the shore, waiting for the day the black sun rises once more. But sailors tell another tale. On storm-ridden nights, when the waves whisper secrets, some say they see a knight in shattered armor standing at the cliffs of Mist Keep. His helm is gone, his face forgotten by time. He watches the sea, waiting. For the tide always returns.